360 no scope. Oh, I'm on a thing. What just happened? Oh, I saw that, but that was so sick. Oh my god, dude.
The slides are so good when you're sniping, bro.
Oh yeah, take that. Oh.
Run for 360. Missed it. Missed it. Missed it. Missed it. Here we go.
And welcome everyone to episode 79 of the 1UP XP show. I appreciate you all being here. Now, this weekend, as you're watching this, there's big stuff going on across Northern Michigan. We have C4 going on, the Cherry Capital Comic-Con up in Traverse City. So we'll have highlights of that going into next weekend. But this weekend, we have some big news to tell you with NMC. And then we also sit down with the ladies from Esports and Coffee. But first, let's get into some highlights of a free game that is a mobile port on PC. So when you say mobile port, it's a mobile game, but they've ported it to be playable on PC. When you hear that, you start thinking, it's probably not going to be that good. But I've been told that this game is a Call of Duty ripoff and better than Call of Duty. So I recruited Klam and we jump into Combat Master. Check out these highlights. Oh, camos. I got a camo. Oh my God. Chat, look at this. There is literally fade cam. Oh my God, these camos are... There is a camo grind. This is insane. Oh, look at... If this is not a ripoff of a Call of Duty map. Like... Go,
change weapons. Weapon, what? Said to equip.
Oh my God. I just got a triple kill. Yeet. Oh my God, I just got a knife kill through a window. That was insane. Okay, I died.
Go.
Yeet!
No! God bless me!
What?
I died. Now I'm just gonna snipe him. Will you please stop taking my kills? Flake. Stop taking my kills, man. Little fart. I think they all backed out.
I mean, I would too. Oh, he killed me.
Attack.
Oh.
Don't mind me, just shooting them as they come out.
Oh my God, dude.
Where's the kill cams, dude? Because I had some glorious kills, man.
Oh my God.
Just so dumb. Fish in the barrel simulator.
You had
Well, you're
more
not
kills
wrong.
than me? Oh, we were both 25 and 2.
Go, go, go!
How do I pull out my knife? Oh, not like that. Oh, I don't have one. Oh, I do right here. Quit. All right, here we go. Let's try this out. We're going knife hunting. Oh, it's not one shot. It's not a one tap.
So your kill streak's stacked. That's interesting. Uh-oh. I got my 5th minigun in a row.
All I did was melee that entire game. This is stupid.
Dude, I absolutely... Oh, boy.
Where did I go? Yeah, these XP tokens are really helping. I went
was
14 and 4 with just knifing.
37 and 0. And as you can tell, yeah, you can't play other players while in custom games, as for some reason you can't play multiplayer together, but there's a lot of bots. So yeah, Klam and I did really well playing against bots, but it is so much fun. I don't know if I've had so much fun not playing against actual humans. It was super fun. I highly recommend it. If you're into Call of Duty, try this game out. The movement is crazy. The guns and skins are amazing. Super fun game. But coming up next, we sit down with the ladies of Esports and Coffee, and we talk to them about their podcast, but also we talk to them about things in the world of esports that can be better or that are great. We'll have that right after the break. And welcome back, everyone, to the 1UpXP show. Now, our first segment here that deals with a little bit of education information is with Esports and Coffee, a group of ladies that a few of them we've had on the show before, a few we haven't. You have Sari, Jacquie, as well as Ashley. They join me to talk about their roles in the esports community, but also what Esports and Coffee, their podcast, is trying to do. Let's check it out. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. We have Sari Keitlin, as well as Jacquie Lamb and Ashley Jones. Now, Sari and Ashley are new to the 1UpXP show, but we've had Jacquie on a few times. But welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to talk about Esports and Coffee. Is a tremendous podcast. Like you said, setting up that safe space, but also bringing to light some things that kind of need to be changed in esports, because as much as we love esports, there are things wrong with esports. But there's also tremendous things with esports, and I like to think the strides that esports is making is in the right direction. But what do you all see as good in esports, but what do you all see as something that we really have to work on in collegiate esports as well?
I'll start reverse it.
Okay.
The thing I think we need to work on a lot in collegiate esports is to see the good and celebrate the good and elevate the good in collegiate esports. I think the narrative is off. Globally, what I think is really good within the collegiate esports space is that we're looking at an industry that was built by the people that are in it. And I don't think that's something that's happened very often, nor has it happened successfully in a very long time. And to be able to know that we're kind of building this as it goes, and you're like kind of taking the step and laying the next brick, is a pretty phenomenal way for an industry to really take formation. And I think that says a lot. I also think something that's not really understood as much, and I wish was celebrated a little bit more, is that the different voices that exist based on the differences in programs and the differences in backgrounds and nationalities and where everybody's kind of coming from and experiences are contributing to a pretty robust and well-rounded experience and industry and space for us all to really work within.
Ashley or Jackie, is there anything that you want to build off of what Sari said, or anything on your own that you wanted to say?
Yeah, I just want to read it a little bit on how programs are just growing. I think that's one of the positive things that, and we love our players. That's what our programs are around. But the back of house players, I feel like a lot more programs are needing to see that students, we are an educational system. So students are wanting to get that experience, and we can give it to them. We can make student workers, and we need them. It shouldn't just be a one-person show anymore. Right. And a lot of schools are investing in their programs. But I'll always say one of the things I need to work on, and I feel like this past year, it really showed that some of the leagues that we're in, that they're becoming serious on some of the things that people say. And we need to teach our students that what you say have consequences, and that there is freedom of speech, but hate speech is real, and that they need to understand that there are consequences for that. And I know that Twitter we call it Twitter drama all the time. It's where toxicity just
Twit
balloons.
Longers,
Yeah. And just the fact that some students get behind some of these Twitter dramas, and it just goes down a rabbit hole. It's like you could get in serious trouble if you were in a day job, if you were to say some of the harsh comments. And so why shouldn't our students be punished for saying that either? They're here to grow, but they need to realize that there's a line. And I'm loving to see that the leagues are starting to support that code of conduct a lot better.
Ashley, what do you see that you think it can flourish, or something that needs help on the collegiate side of things?
Yeah, I think I've got a pretty unique perspective at, when compared to some other folks, because my whole job is just talking to institutions, and I can talk to them in a number of capacities. Like, hey, we are at ground zero. We know that we want to adopt esports onto campus in a meaningful way, and we just have zero direction on where to go. Or we already have a program, we've got staff, we've got space, when we already know what we want to do. That's my cat's feeder. I'm sorry if you hear it going off. But so from a program level, from an institution level, I think the thing that I'm really impressed by, and what I am seeing more often, probably over the past 6 months, I'm seeing a lot more D1 schools. I'm talking to a lot more D1 schools, and that whole rising tide lifting all boats. I think that the D1s getting more involved is going to be helpful and beneficial, even just from a visibility perspective. If we can adopt some of these programs into the collegiate space, people will in turn see the entire landscape and like, oh, this has actually been happening for quite some time at this point. So I'm encouraged by the fact that we've got D1s that are coming on board. I'm encouraged by the fact that there are programs that are also being adopted that do have different goals. Like, I'll talk to a school that they want to be hyper competitive, and they know that, and they're setting up their program accordingly. I'll talk to schools that, their main focus really at the end of the day is more they want to build a supportive community on campus. So they're going to be more focused on those types of activities and providing that programming to their students. So I think for me, like, those are the things that I'm excited about. I see people putting real thought into building their programs, whereas some of the programs that were spun up a couple of years ago, it was kind of like, okay, we built a space and we hired somebody and go for it, right? Yeah. So I'm excited by that fact. I think some of the areas that we could still work on. is just education. I think at the end of the day, there is still a lot that institutions don't know about. And there's only so much that, like, when they're coming to me and we're having a conversation, like, I don't know everything about their school. I don't know everything about how it works and what really truly would work best on their campus, because I don't know what the culture is. I don't know the ins and outs. So the best thing that I can do is just supply them with all of the information that I have and try to guide them as best as I can. But I think at the end of the day, there is still some concerns on my end, just the way that we're able to present collegiate esports, the way that we're able to present information, and the Twitter drama certainly does not help some of those concerns. So I think just general information distribution is something that we could still really work on.
And my huge thank you again to Sari, Jacquie, and Ashley. If you would like to check out Esports and Coffee, it's Danielle, Sari, as well as Ashley, and also Jacquie. And you can catch them every Tuesday. I think it's every Tuesday. But regardless, you can catch them and check out their podcast, which is on Twitch. And you can also get all their information down below. But coming up next on the 1UpXP show, we sit down with Dr. Terri Gustafson of NMC because they have some big news in the esports world. We'll have that right after the break. And welcome back, everyone, to the 1UpXP show. Now, we've had NMC and their esports program on the show plenty of times, but they have something amazing up their sleeves that they're coming out with next year. So we sat down with Dr. Terri Gustafson, who runs their esports as well as their technological education there at NMC. And we figured out what it was. Check it out. You have some exciting news on the horizon here for NMC. We are talking your first kind of toe dip into the academic world of esports, correct? We have an esports certificate coming to NMC. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct. Beginning in spring semester of 2024, so January, we are going to start offering an esports management certificate. So it's a level 1 certificate. So cool. That will be comprised of 5 new esports courses and then 3 existing courses that we have to make up a full 16 credit certificate.
And it's great to see NMC has a certificate on the horizon. You said it has 4 or 5 esports classes.
It will have 5. Okay. So the first course, which is 3 credit course, is an intro to esports. Okay. And that's really gonna get the students going in different perspectives, like from the player standpoint, from an industry standpoint, and from a content producer standpoint. So it's an overview, but they will also have to have a computer and webcam and all that stuff, because they'll have to start producing their own streaming content as part of the projects in the course. And then they'll also understand, one of the goals is to help them understand gaming culture and the stereotypes and looking at the industry as a whole. So it's a bit of production, but it's also understanding the industry and where it is, not only nationally and locally, but globally, and where it's going. The other 4 courses are 1 credit experiential courses. Okay. So they're going to be offered, what we're calling it hybrid, and the other course is going to be offered online. I forgot to mention that. Okay. And hybrid for the other ones are they're hands-on courses. So there's esports security, so all about cybersecurity, security for events, and also for just general, like a lab setup. You know, like we had here, we had to think about, you know, it's on its own network with its own switch and its own firewall, all those kinds of things. The other 3 are casting and streaming, event management, and coaching.
Let's say someone gets your esports certificate, and some would say you're halfway to a degree, an esports degree. Is there somewhere, I'm kind of saying, is there somewhere else that they could go to finish up that certificate to make it a full-fledged degree, or what would it take to make it a full-fledged degree, I guess?
So we actually last fall signed an articulation agreement with Ferris State University. Even before we decided to go in the direction and do our own certificate, we worked with the great folks at Ferris to do a 2+2, what we call a 2+2 transfer articulation agreement. So students could start here, and do 2 years of college here, and then transfer directly into their new esports program. The 5 courses that we have, they're a mirror of what they're going to have at Ferris.
So cool.
And one of the things that I'm excited about is we've made this so that yes, they could work with our esports varsity program for some of these experiential parts, but I've worded it that they could work with anybody in the region, right? So if they want to work with CC Central High School, right, and have their project in the esports event management course be having them host their first tournament, right, or something like that. They could work with TC Central, or they could work with any of the other schools that have esports in the area. So it's not just, hey, you have to do the class in the area here and work with NMC Esports. You could work with any of the programs in the area in order to complete the requirements. We're starting to build out the courses. We're probably gonna start looking for, maybe there's some folks that want to help us teach it, especially since we're gonna be, one of the first courses is going to be online, and also some partnerships of some of the programs that are out there so that students have that experiential opportunity to connect with them. Think of it kind of like an internship.
So my huge thanks to Dr. Terri Gustafson for sitting down and explaining this to me. If you are interested in the esports certificate at NMC, you can always get a hold of Dr. Terri Gustafson down below. All of her information there, as well as NMC. And if you're also interested in Ferris, or maybe splitting it up between NMC and Ferris, get a hold of Ferris State's esports program as well, and also talk to Dr. Terri Gustafson. Now, we have one last segment here on the 1UpXP Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And that does it for this week's episode of the 1UpXP Show. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. Be good, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you guys next week. Here we go!